Hey YouTube, Sam here, and I'm doing a little bit of insulation in the bathroom shower, downstairs bathroom shower. And so I thought I'd kind of show you a little tip and trick. Now later on I am planning on doing a complete insulation all the way through when I get to that point down here, but right now I just thought I'd do a couple tips and tricks to have some videos, little quick videos. So I need to cut this down to 70.5, I believe. I'm going to have to remeasure that before I cut it actually, but I thought I'd show you. If you'll notice down here where my tape measure is, I got that butted right up against the wall there, and then I got a board right here. And I know the light's not great, but this is where I have to cut this stuff. And this floor doesn't matter, it's going to be completely covered up, but you still want to put a board here, especially if you don't want your floor to be destroyed. Plus the board kind of helps, and I'll show you. What I do, hopefully you can see the end of the tape measure here, I'll butt that up against the wall I have the insulation butted to, and I'm going to bring that right down the side of the insulation and onto that board, and right here 70.5. So honestly, you can do, what I do is add a little bit extra and make my cut. I don't worry about perfect cuts. Insulation doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. It will squeeze a little bit. Although, you don't want to add a ton, because if you add too much and you try and stuff it into places, you lose your R value in your insulation. As soon as you start jamming it in, your R value goes right out the window, literally. So, you know, you got to cut it close, but a ½ inch here or there is not going to make a big difference if you have a little more. If you don't have enough, you're going to have a gap, and you don't want that either. So, anyhow, just a quick way of measuring out your insulation. To the wall, to the board, got a pretty good idea on that board where I need to cut. Take my razor blade and cut. That's another thing, when you cut your insulation, you want the batting up towards you, and the backing piece down, laying down. You always want to cut it that way. You never want to cut it where you're cutting on this part here. It's just as much easier, believe me, take my word for it. I actually did this for a living for quite a while. So, in fact, I actually ran crews doing insulation. So, and with all my videos, your safety is up to you. I highly recommend when doing insulation, you have lung protection. One of the highest on the things I would say of doing. Eye protection, I don't do that enough. But you can get stuff in your eyes doing the insulation here. Although I gotta say, this stuff's been pretty good. I've been real happy with it. It doesn't cake off like some of the ones I've worked with in the past. And another one that's a pretty big one that people don't think about is a sharp knife. The sharper, the better. If you start cutting your insulation and chunks of insulation and the backing start tearing and chunks start coming off with your blade is too dull. And that'll hurt you quicker than any sharp blade around. A dull blade. And with all my videos, if you don't like the way I'm doing something, don't do it. This is Sam, Jack of all, Master of none. You all have a good one.